Hey everyone, my name is Hot and Thresh, and today we are going to do a video demonstration for how to lightweight tank Lazarus M10. I'm going to start with my build here, so just going to hover over everything. Of course I have full Ancient Ward. The other perks don't matter too much. I do have Sundering Shockwave. That's the only one that really makes a significant difference on the armor. And then the weapon, I have Trenchant Recovery with Ancient Bane on the Warhammer, which makes a huge difference. And then I'm using Sacred Wood Saber as an offhand. And then for swaps, I'm bringing in, this is loot, but I'm bringing in Chardis leg wraps and Chardis hand wraps, which I will swap to during the Cilla fight. So then I'll be a medium equipment load, and I'll have an extra dodge. And then I also have a sword and round shield for Cilla, along with a spear for the final boss. Attributes, I'm 150 con, 315 strength, 50 dexterity. I have been thinking about dropping down to 100 con and doing 365 strength, but I don't know, I'm still getting used to this, so I'm not too confident doing that yet. Alright. Gonna buff up and then we can go. Still 12 minutes on food. I think I'll eat it just to be safe, actually. Alright. So, the first thing you do here, run up here and shockwave these guys, and then run past to the archer. Once they're all here, give it another taunt. And then just swap to Warhammer and kind of camp Warhammer for the rest of it. Just rotating over abilities. If you think about it, you shouldn't have an issue with aggro with this, but if you don't have aggro on some things, it's okay to not have aggro as long as they're CC'd. So, like, if they're staggered or knocked down or something, it's okay if you don't have aggro on them, because they're not going to be damaging anyone anyway, and you'll be able to pick up their aggro during that CC. This wave should be spawning soon. I do think if I were to improve my Warhammer here, I would just go for Refreshing Move on it, in addition to Bane and Trenchant Recovery, because when I die, I'm dying because...
Yep, beat our last one by about 10 seconds. Last one was at 1:58 when the door closed.
That's just the in-game voice chat, but the reason I die when I do die is because I don't have crowd control abilities available, so Refreshing Move would significantly help with that. here. Either I like Rapier taunting the first 3 guys, and then once the guy from outside comes in, then I Sundering Shockwave. This next part, I just fletch through these guys, pop a regen potion, bring them all down here. Need a Rapier taunt. Sundering Shockwave. Then for the next part here, he's going to go talk to Cilla and slash unstuck so that he doesn't spawn the mobs when he walks back across the bridge. He should slash unstuck, but whatever. Pick up this archer and the guy next to him.
Sorry about that, forgot I still had to do that.
Once we have things, we're gonna go over to the boss.
So used to somebody else doing it. It's like, oh, I just gotta go over and click on it.
That was a nice grab while whoever's using the great axe here did this nicely. And then this next part, I always tell them to run to the stairs, just so that we're all on the same page. And while they're running, I'm actually gonna run ahead and wash my hands, and hopefully get some extra mobs. We do get some extra mobs. The person might be a little bit far behind though. Nah, he's okay. So back here, waiting for everything to group up. Give it a taunt. I always try to get a dodge in between heavy attacks with the Warhammer. Just trying to mitigate some of the damage you're taking. And then while they're all going to wash their hands, I'll pick up this guy. Then for Cilla, you're gonna swap to your Chardis set that you brought. Not the full set, just enough to get medium. Let them know that you'll need Oblivions and the number of stacks that you're okay with. So, you don't really need Sword and Shield here, but the reason I bring it is for the leadership bonus to make myself a little bit useful, you know? Because, like, obviously if I'm just camping Rapier the whole time, I'm not dealing much damage. So, by having a Sword and Shield, I can at least increase people's damage by 10%. And then, I have a shield with Fortifying Shield Rush on the shield. So that increases, that gives me a 33% fortify whenever I hit it, which is enough to save you in a lot of situations. Pop a ward potion here just because I'm not in the sacred. I hope I'm okay here. Nice.
Will do, man. I got you taken care of.
Alright, then after Cilla, you just swap back to your Warhammer and Rapier for this. One person bot? Two people bot, okay. Looks like there's two archers here, so I'll do this side first. As long as you're inside the Sacred, Sacred gives you plus 50% to all healing, all incoming heals. So if you're standing inside of Sacred, even if it's like a 400 gear score life staff Sacred, you should not be dying. As long as you have Trench and Recovery Warhammer.
Just out of range, Hot, just to let you know for that Sacred.
Alright, yeah, top.
Oh, never.
So.
Coming.
Alright, and if you're not aware, this part is a timed portion of the dungeon, so you don't need to kill the mobs, you can just come up here and wait it out. And I'm just letting them know that we don't need to lure the bosses. A lot of people will lure the bosses through the door, but to speed up the run, we're just going to fight everything on them without luring. While you're running through, try to pick up at least one of the crawlers if you can. What I just did there is one of the reasons why I like Sacred Wood Saber when I'm tanking. You can just start auto-attacking things if you need a taunt quickly, and the refreshing move will get you your taunt back. Here, I pull everything through to the water where the next boss is, and then I have people line of sight the archers. I always knock this guy down, just, I don't know, give him a bad day. Then when you're running through, pick up as many of these guys as you can. And, oh, that's not a good start here. Another time. I imagine if I was good at the game. Yeah, so, I know that I walked out of the Sacred there, but I think, even in hindsight, with my death and everything, I think the correct play was still to go to that Archer there, make sure he wasn't giving the healer problems, even though it meant me walking out of the Sacred. But I probably could have done it at a time where I had more cooldowns available. Here, I didn't drop combat fast enough, or I wasn't fast enough after dropping combat, but I'll usually swap to a spear instead of rapier for this boss, if I'm able to. Just a little bit faster DPS, that's all. Final boss, I swapped to spear instead of rapier. For this part, the orbs spawn just after his right hand, so this hand slams the ground. So watching for it to slam. 1 second, Q. And then, I don't think anyone really needs a walkthrough for this fight, but just putting on bleeds, perforate, and trying to rend as much as I can. While he's in this phase, you're not able to hit him with Sundering Shockwave, but you are able to hit him with it when he falls down and his head is on the ground. So I'll do bleed, perforate, shockwave, heavy attack, armor breaker, heavy attack, wrecking ball, and then just focus on keeping runs up for the rest of it. And then if you're not aware, once you get slightly below the C, you can, the C in the word Chardis with his health bar, you can stop DPSing, and a lot of groups will come over here to wait until he spawns the next beam, and then that way it's like Chardis on easy mode. He'll collapse again, and then you get insane DPS again. What they're saying in group chat here, coulda, shoulda, all that, the last round I had with them, we were talking about how as long as you get his health bar below the H in Chardis, if you get his health bar below that before the first beam, then you can just keep on DPSing him. You don't need to wait for it like this, and it's actually faster to do it that way. But since not the whole team wants to do that, we're not able to do it with just 3 DPS. So we're waiting for the team and just doing what other people want to do instead. Alright guys, so that's how you tank M10 Lazarus with a lightweight 100 con tanking build. Just gonna take a look at the score card here, because we had an insane time. Yeah, 20 minutes and 18 seconds. That's very nice. Alright, and let's see. I'll go over my ability tree and stuff also here. So, on my Warhammer, this is my ability tree. Just armor breaker for rends and reducing damage absorption of the mobs. Wrecking Ball is just for CC. You know, since I'm not tanky, I'm opting for a CC build, and as long as they're CC'd, they're not dealing damage. As long as they're not dealing damage, I'm not taking damage, so it helps to survive. And then Sundering Shockwave for the taunt. There's a, I've got Sundering Shockwave perk on the armor, so that helps with DPS. And Sundering Shockwave will actually break a lot of shields, so then if they're blocking, you can't just knock them down right away, but you can Sundering Shockwave, you can Shockwave them to break the shield and then knock them down if you need to do that. And then some other things to note, I've got this to gain a lot of health back when I use Shockwave. Let's see, then I really used the Rapier as a defensive tool. I wasn't too concerned about the damage with Rapier. I only really cared about having Riposte available and having Evade available. So it's built that way, mostly on the Grace tree. My Spear, I just didn't bother respecing it. If I was using... If I really cared about min-maxing, I would have used Vault Kick instead of Sweep. But this still works. The important part is being able to perforate and rend the final boss. And what else did I use? I used Sword and Shield for Cilla. So, again, I mentioned this during the Cilla fight, but the reason why I use Sword and Shield is because if I just camp a Rapier the whole fight, I'm not dealing much damage, I'm not contributing much to the team. Like, yeah, I'm staying alive and I'm holding aggro, but I could contribute a 10% damage bonus instead. So that's what I opted for. And the reason I have 4 abilities here is kinda, it looks silly, I know, but you need Shield Rush for the Fortifying Shield Rush perk I have, which I mentioned during the fight helps to keep you alive quite a bit. So after hitting a target with Shield Rush, gain Fortify, increasing damage absorption by 33%, which is huge. That's more than half of what the maximum Fortify is. So you need Shield Rush, and I also took Defiant Stance. It's a nice taunt, and I'll use it specifically when we're starting to when an orb is up and she's gaining stacks, because just the flat damage reduction helps a ton if you mess up sometime early. You know, like say she's only got 11 stacks and you miss a dodge, but you already use Defiant Stance and Shield Rush, so you don't take as much damage and you're able to be healed up pretty easily by the healer. And I use Shield Bash because of this invigorating bulwark. So the important things during the Cilla fight is having stamina available. So if I'm really in a tight situation, I can use Shield Bash to get some stamina back and get another dodge. So on the left side of the tree, the only thing I really needed was leadership. And if I don't take any abilities, I'm 1 point short. So that's why I took Whirling Blade. I could have taken Backstab, could have taken Leaping Strike, it doesn't matter. I just needed 1 point in something to get all the points I needed to get leadership. Which I would camp sword whenever I felt comfortable, you know, like say I'm full health and full stamina, then I'll be on sword and shield just to help make the boss go faster. And I think that's everything, guys. Oh, I do need to cover the perks on the swaps. So, on sword, I'm just using Deep Root. It's nice for a refreshing move. The other stuff isn't too important, really. I would prefer something with refreshing move and Bane. Fortifying Shield Rush is very important on the shield. If I had a perfect shield, I would also want Ancient Bane on it, or Ancient Ward on it. The spear, where is the spear? There's the spear. Just Ancient Bane, keenly empowered. It's not a best spear, but it's good enough to put rents on Chardis. And then I put the electrified gem in it. So I think that's everything, guys. Thanks for watching the video and taking the time out of your day. I hope you guys learned something new. Maybe you'll be inspired to try out different styles of tanking, because honestly, before I started tanking like this, I absolutely hated running Lazarus. It was just way too boring to just be a heavy tank meat shield and sitting behind my shield the entire dungeon. But this way it is a whole lot more fun, in my opinion. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great day.